Hi, this is Space for Awareness, and welcome to our first podcast. How are you feeling, Tika?
I'm so excited. This was maybe like a little dream of me to do one day. So I'm happy that this is happening. How do you feel?
I feel great. I haven't done this for quite a long time now, since I moved to Bali, so it is a good opportunity.
And it's so nice to do it with you.
Yay! I guess first we can share a little bit about our journey.
Yeah,
How we
let's
met.
do it. Let's tell people maybe how we met each other and our journey.
Yes. So I will begin. Well, me and Tika, we met each other in a retreat, yoga retreat and meditation. And there is just something with some people where you connect simply. You have this first conversation and you kind of just get along together. So yeah, that was how I felt by the time that we met. And there was the vision for Space for Awareness.
Yeah, I feel the seed was planted in that retreat. I remember when I met you, you started to talk about topics that not many people talk about. And I am interested in those topics, but not many are. And you kind of touched on all the points that were in my mind. And I was like, what are the odds that someone is so aligned with my interests as you were? So I'm so happy that we got the chance there to get to know each other better and to go into these super deep conversations in the middle of this intense retreat that was very deep.
Yeah.
And we continued going deep in our conversations. And I'm so happy that now we get this chance to bring our knowledge also to the people in this podcast.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, that at that point you were living in Portugal. And what is the coincidence that the plans changed and you moved to Bali? And we had the chance to create all of the project that we are working on, which, guys, you don't know much about, but it's coming up in the next month.
Yeah, and I feel sometimes you have to make a very big decision if you want to follow your dreams.
Yes.
And I had a very clear vision of my dreams, and I felt that you and I should be doing that together.
Yeah.
So I had to make a big decision of leaving Portugal behind and just coming here to Bali to work with you on this super exciting project of Space for Awareness. And I'm happy that I did.
Yeah, I'm happy that you did as well. And I think that this is something that I want to touch on. And that is making big decisions in life. That sometimes we are very stuck in our comfort zones. And there is these opportunities and these things that are sent to us from the universe or God or however you call it. But because we're scared, we don't walk that path. We don't take those opportunities.
Yeah, often we get stuck in the thought of fear or what if this is going to happen to me, and think of all the negative consequences. Which limits your full potential, right? If we can see that these are just negative thoughts, patterns that we created in our childhood or more recently, and we follow that thought, is hard to actually reach your full potential.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you had your fair share of making these decisions too in your journey. Maybe you want to share a little bit about some decisions that you have made that's make you where you are.
Well, as you know my background, and maybe some of you don't know, I started my journey from a very dark place, which is abuse, alcohol, drugs, and a lot of addictions. And I reached rock bottom in my life. And from there, the only way was up or down fully, right? So my decision was made in a very dark space, right? Mm-hmm. So it's in a fighter's mode. But it was also guided by something deeper. I felt like a touch from something greater when I made the decision. When I made this decision to walk my path. And this was the hardest one to make, because it is hard to give up on your lifestyle that you built for 10 years with your addictions, with all your trauma, how you've been living, and say enough From today, I'm a different person. I want to change my life. I want to be different. I do agree that in some way it is something through me that channeled that. But that was my hardest decision. And I think that afterwards, when the journey began, I did have these times when I want to go back to my old lifestyle. Maybe it's better. And those were the hard decisions. It's a big change, not that much environmental, which it is, of course, but internal. That you need to give up on your old self, with all the respect, and build something new.
I can imagine you had to change so many of your habits in order to live the life you're living now. And maybe what we didn't share much about yet but you have a very strong practice of meditation, breathwork, yoga that you do in order to maintain this lifestyle and these better habits that you taught yourself to have. Maybe do you want to share a little bit about those practices that you incorporate in your days to maintain this better lifestyle?
Well, personally, what I do, I make it simple. I made it very complicated when I just started. I need so many hours, I need to read so much, I need to do this, I need to do that. Now I try to keep it balanced and simple. And I believe that when we start, we always rush into extremes first. That's the beginner's mind. You know what I'm talking about, probably. Yeah, so I was there. And now, after many years, I just reached balance. That means I do my daily meditation, and we will talk later about that, which sometimes can last up to an hour if I have time, or 10 minutes if I don't. And I don't beat myself for not doing long practices. Yoga is, for me, something that I do for my physical health and for my energy flow. Breath work is just something that makes me feel very good. Why not, So whenever I feel a little bit imbalanced, okay, let's breathe now. And I pick something. And it's simply a lifestyle that's developed for better quality, better mind space. I do a lot of devotional practices, meaning service for God and offerings in my own way, but that is service and love based. But for well-being, practices are simple. Daily gratitude, journaling when needed, meditation, nothing too complicated or dramatic, And how about you?
Yeah, for me, it started maybe not necessarily from that much of a dark space, but it also started with a trigger from life where life just gave me a health issue. For me, it was losing, for example, so I had some hearing loss, and I just read Joe Dispenza, and I believe that I can heal everything myself, He really has a very good way of making you believe you can heal everything within yourself.
Yes,
so I jumped on the track of healing myself through meditation and breathwork and yoga because I really didn't want to accept that I had hearing loss. So I started to intensify my practices of yoga, meditation, and breathwork in that time of facing a health issue. I think that this is something that many people will relate to, and mine might not have been the most extreme version of it. Maybe people that are watching have more severe health problems that they are facing and want to heal. But in my case, it was hearing loss, and I started to do a daily yoga, meditation, and breathwork. And I started to notice a big shift in my energy in that time. I started to see, first of all, I was much more focused on myself and less at what other people were thinking or doing and chasing the life that other people wanted me to live. I started to go a bit more inwards. And from that, I started to feel a lot better. And I started to get more synchronicities in my days that showed me that I was doing what was right for me. And this is quite a long story that I don't want to bore everyone with. But slowly but surely, I started to grow as a stronger person from within. And that meant that sometimes the outside perspectives of who I am started to break down, but I literally had to reprogram what I am, which is a person that just cares naturally much more about is my mental well-being good? Am I feeling calm? Am I feeling present? Do I show up to my outside world with compassion and love? Do I treat everyone in the right way? So I noticed that the more I work on myself, the more I also actually help other people. And that slowly started to become my passion and my drive to live. And it wasn't anymore working for a lot of money or working for the big company that I used to work for. It was more about just showing up to the world in the best way I could.
Yeah.
And it was no option anymore after noticing those shifts in my days and my energy to give up those practices.
Yeah.
I had to show up every day and do them. Does it resonate with you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what it is that when people figure out that by working with your body and your mind, you can change your experience that you actually live through this life, then the game changes. They cannot go back. It is said that the first mini awakening, this is what it means, that people figure out that, hold on, if I do specific things, I can experience the same reality in absolutely different mind. And this is so important, especially for the chase mentality people, everyone rushing for more and more and more. If I have this, I will be happy. If I have that, I will be satisfied. That's not true. If you have a chase mentality, your brain is wired that after you achieve one goal, you want something else, you want something else. You're always trying to pick something that is lacking. That is the wiring of the brain. This is a neurological thing. Yeah. But if you learn how to balance yourself within, you can live stress-free, of course. Daily stress is a natural thing, but unnecessary distress that we put ourselves through. And you can also feel grateful for what you truly have, even if it's not much. Have a better experience. That's what I always say, that it's simple. It's not, people overcomplicate this everything, all spiritual topics, it's too complicated. Make it simple. Daily practice, don't wait for some, I don't know, enlightenment state. Just see how you are progressing in your daily life, how you think, because mind is everything, how you show up.
Absolutely. It's making little steps that eventually are making this big change. And it's interesting if you look at it from an energy perspective. If you're vibrating low energy, then this is what you will be attracting. But learn how to vibrate better, more positive energy by shifting into a state of gratitude means you will be attracting that as well. And then you are really on track or on the path of just growing and evolving naturally, like a tree does. Like when there's more and more sunshine shining on him, it will grow taller and taller and taller. And by changing our state of mind into something more positive means almost as if we're attracting more sun into our day.
Yes.
So we will naturally grow taller without us even doing something.
Yes.
Just attracting more sun.
Absolutely. And for many people, it might sound a little bit superficial. Yeah, be more grateful. It's not that easy. It's simply that if you train your mind, every morning you wake up and you find 5 things that you're grateful for. In time, your brain starts to recognize more things that are positive because that's the way that you reprogram it. It's the same like, okay, let's say I would ask you, find all the things in this room that are green. Now look around. What's green here, right? And then I ask you, what was red?
What was red?
No, I don't know. So it's the same. If you wake up thinking about your problems and you're complaining all the time and you're living in this rush mentality that I need to achieve this and that and then I will feel complete. Yeah. Obvious that you will not feel this inner peace and you will not attract abundance because you are noticing something wrong every single day.
Now, this is sharing our personal story and our personal perspective, but what I would love to ask you is what do you think that people that are in a high performance environment in their daily life with high targets, lots of stress and pressure from maybe their boss, the company they work in, some people maybe more from home environment, but high performance environments feel and experience that keeps them stressed, and something that they can do to reduce that level of stress in their days?
Well, I do work with many people who are running businesses and they're high achievers, let's say. Also with people who have big dreams and goals and they're in the beginning of their path, and householders, all sorts of people. And what I can tell you is that burnout and frying your brain like in a microwave is the main and the biggest problem in these days. Even if you have a very strong goal, even if it's your desire and your passion, you can burn out from that goal. If you don't allow yourself to rest, if you don't allow yourself to restart, you will eventually burn down, and you will eventually have mental disturbances, anxiety and panic attacks and so on. So the most important thing for everybody, especially high achievers, because they're on their goal, they are just going all the way, right? Is to learn to balance. It's all about balancing in life. And when I talk about balance, it doesn't mean that you reach a point of balance. It means you know how to balance. I work, but now my body, my nervous system is telling me to rest. I slow down, I restart. Reset every day, at least a couple of times. It doesn't mean going on one retreat once in 3 months and that's the reset. No, it means every day there is a clear balance. That's why we had so many really high achieving figures in this world which talked about taking breaks, taking afternoon naps. This is how they were restarting their brains. And these days with the phones, the social media, the scrolling, you're literally stimulated all the time. How can you feel balance in your nervous system, in your being and in your mind if you're always active? Always. You're never calm. Only when you sleep, but that's also disturbed.
Yeah, often that is. What you're saying here is that people are experiencing disturbances in their nervous system.
Yeah.
I think this is a very important thing to highlight of how to recognize those disturbances in the nervous system, because this is where it often already goes wrong. We are so much in a rush and so much in our mind that we don't even connect with our body anymore. And we don't know that it is already dysregulated. Can you maybe mention a few symptoms that people will recognize when it's time for them to stop and slow down?
It's such a funny question, and really great that you asked, because very simple things, okay? How to recognize that you are holding some stored energy or emotions, let's say, in your body. Your body gives signals. For example, if your jaw is locked, right? Or, you know, people grind their jaws, right? That signals that you have unprocessed anger. You don't say your truth. You don't speak enough it's on your mind. And that's why your body stores that tension in your jaw. If, let's say, you have a tight chest, that shows fear and anxiety. That's unprocessed. That's in your mind probably. You're overthinking. You're creating these scenarios. And you start to have shallow breath. And you start to have irregular heartbeats. So all of these things, those are signs from the nervous system. Also shaking hands. There is so much things that we can recognize in our bodies and in our minds. If you start to overthink, overanalyze, and create all of these scenarios out of nowhere, for example, you're going to work and in your mind you have a story. Something will happen. I will get in trouble. That is a signal that sympathetic nervous system is already overstimulated, that you need to slow down and rewire yourself. because that shows that your brain is looking for stressors in an environment that
Yeah.
doesn't absolutely exist anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are many signs. Nervous system is related to the body and to the mind. The way that you think is the way that your body is, what your body is going through, let's say. What do you think? Can you share?
Yeah, it really reminds me of something that I had to go through while I was working for a very big company. Brings me even to a step before that, where I noticed how I escaped the situation where I was sitting down, not to have to see or witness that my mind was rushing all the time, that I had these symptoms of short breath, of clenching jaw, not sleeping well, for example. It was almost as if my soul was telling me, don't go and sit down, because you will have to wake up and you will have to see that your body and mind are out of balance.
Yeah.
So what I was doing in my days was I would always go around, do things all day long.
Yeah.
And if I was not doing anything, I would be scrolling on my phone.
Yeah.
Just to keep on distracting the mind from not feeling what it actually had to see and observe. That eventually led me to almost burning out or not taking any proper rest and not being able to fall asleep in the evenings. I would have to do a sleeping meditation before going to bed in the evening, otherwise I would just not sleep. And these were clearly symptoms that I was overworked or stressed. And it takes quite some, let's say, a little spark or an awakening to get to that realization of, okay, now it's time to sit down with myself, feel and observe what is my body telling me, what is my mind needing, what is my heart needing in this moment. And what do you think it is that when we are facing that situation, what is the one step we can take to treat ourselves in a better way?
I believe that first comes a decision to allow yourself to listen to your body, because the body has so many signals that we ignore because that brings discomfort and the unknown. Oh wow, there is all of these disturbances. How to handle it? That is already uncertainty, fear that what I will do with this, unknown. This is something that the mind doesn't like. The mind likes to go on the comfortable way. Okay, there are all these symptoms. Let's just ignore it. Let's continue running 24/7, and we will deal with this later.
Yeah.
Later never comes until we burn out, we crash. Then we sleep for 3 days, and then we don't do nothing about it, and we continue. So I think decision to first tell to yourself, okay, we are doing this. Take it serious, because you will see something you don't like. Take it serious, and then very slow practices, maybe a little bit breath work, just to feel your body. Or another thing that I would recommend is understanding your state, meaning that just sitting down, closing eyes, and asking yourself, how I feel. Okay, let's say sad. Where is this sadness? Is it chest? Is it my throat maybe? Where? Without judgment, just observe. So you build this connection. What do you recommend for the viewers? And
Yeah, I fully agree with you that it's the first step is to just be okay with sitting with yourself and accepting it and not judging. In my journey, yoga helped me a lot. So I was always an overachiever, and I would go to the gym for at least 1.5 hour every day and do intense sports, until I started to notice that this was just another way of escaping sitting down with myself. And doing yoga regularly helped me to sit more with myself and put more attention towards my breath and towards relaxation. And it's funny to see the journey of going from this kind of power yoga style that
Yeah.
I used to do in that time to give myself this feeling of I did intensive exercise, towards the way I do yoga now, which is much more about tuning into my body and the emotions that I am feeling. It doesn't even have to be yoga.
Yeah.
To observe the body, the breath, we can actually just do 5 minutes sitting with yourself, feeling how is the breath, breathing in and out. And the key to making that a successful exercise is stop judging yourself.
Very true.
It is okay if your breath is fast. It is okay if your mind is running.
Yeah.
Because we are all human and we are all on this journey.
Yeah.
But the first thing we need to do is accept it and be like, okay, my mind is running fast.
Yeah.
Not judging it.
Yeah.
Observe it. And then maybe find the right teacher. Find a friend who can guide you a little bit in your journey. That is what really helps me personally. And make small steps. So start maybe with a short meditation practice, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That will eventually bring you in a state of calm, peace, more love, even more abundance. Like, this works in every aspect in your life. Relationships will improve, your work situation will improve, the connection you have with yourself, the love you have towards yourself will also improve. And it starts with things that are so small.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I wanted to just make a quick note that if you guys are looking for practices, meditations, yoga routines, we are sharing a lot on our channel. So have a look. We're releasing a video every Sunday, and it could help you. My question is now about yoga, right? Because in Western society, when people hear yoga, they have a very specific understanding what is yoga and how does it look like. In a couple of words, I know that this is such a long topic that it's impossible in a couple of words to explain. But just what is yoga? And for people who are stressed, who are very busy, what style in their yoga classes should they focus on? Because these classes have different goals.
This is a beautiful question because there is no single answer to it. There's no right or wrong answer to it. It is a very personal journey. Eventually, what does yoga mean? It means to find more union within yourself, body, mind, soul connection through different techniques. Often this is misunderstood. Yoga means asana practice, moving your body, following asanas. But yoga can also mean doing a meditation. It can mean stop attaching to all the external desires or all the desires that we hold within ourselves because our external world is telling us to follow and chase those goals. So in my journey, my perception of what is yoga has completely shifted from believing that yoga means strong exercise, a workout, power yoga, towards practicing in a way that helps me connect more with my center again, feeling calm and present. And I would never say to someone, don't do a strong yoga practice, don't do a power yoga flow, because it's not yoga. It is also yoga, and it actually helped me very much in my journey of going from overachiever in a big tech company to being the calm person that I am today. Recommendation for people would be to try to find your style that helps you the most in this moment. Letting go of the thought of what it has to be or what it means to other people. Because in this modern society, everyone will have a different opinion about what is yoga. Like, look on Instagram.
Yes.
The topic yoga, and it is blamed and shamed on each and every channel. A lot of people are saying yoga is disrupted. It is not the science it used to be anymore. It is not authentic. I personally don't want to go in that direction at all.
Absolutely.
As long as you understand that yoga is just there to connect you more with your own center again. And whatever you need to do in this moment to feel more present, to feel more connected to the here and now moment, to feel more compassion to the people around you, towards yourself, that is yoga.
Exactly. So in the end of the day, I absolutely agree with the statement that people are demonizing modern yoga.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a lot of gaps there. But if a yoga practice does the job and makes you more present and more in tune with yourself in a simple studio somewhere in your hometown, that's authentic for you.
Yeah.
That is authentic for you. You don't need to travel all the way to us in Bali, even we would really love to see you here. But you don't need to do that to practice meditation or yoga. If you practice by yourself in your home studio, whatever method,
Yeah.
it does the job.
I agree. And right now, I think there's a bit of a trend going on with, for example, Kundalini yoga. And this is very interesting to observe because it is such an ancient science to work on the Kundalini, our
Yes.
energy center that is dormant in our spine until it wakes up and purifies all of our chakras
Yes.
until it reaches the crown, and then we become enlightened.
Yes.
Just in a very interesting spiritual way explained. This is now becoming a trend where
Yes.
people are practicing Kundalini yoga to awaken the Kundalini.
Okay.
I love observing it because from my own personal experiences of working with this energy, I can feel it has nothing to do with that. It has something to do with finding a short moment of bliss after a very intense exercise.
Yes.
Every intense exercise will, after performing this exercise, give you a shot of serotonin,
Yes.
and therefore we feel blissful.
Yes.
I have the same with surfing. You go surfing, you catch a wave, you get a shot of serotonin, and we feel blissful.
Yeah.
Where I'm trying to get to with this statement is just showing that the way we perceive yoga, it can be just basically following a trend of what
Yes.
media is making us believe it is or what it should be. But there are so many ways that lead to that same moment of bliss. You don't have to
Absolutely.
awaken a kundalini in your body to feel blissful.
Absolutely.
Bliss comes from a state of calm, peace, presence, connecting with your center. And no matter what exercise you're doing to get there, it can work.
Yes, and this is such a great topic. For those who don't know what is Kundalini, Kundalini is an energy that is in the base of our spine, and it rises through the body and creates an awakening state. That is a very, very short way to explain it for
Very
the
short,
Western mind, deep Eastern teachings. Chakras are energy centers. We have a lot of them in our body, and energy channels, which are called nadis. That's for a different day, for a different topic. But what I'm trying to get here is that Western society, when it comes to spirituality, yoga, meditation, they overcomplicate it. If I'm doing it, it needs to be about some kundalinis or some talking with, angels or whatever that is, crystal magic. Spirituality is how we show up next to our morning coffee, how we speak with the people that we love, how we look at the sun, breathe in, and just feel happiness and joy within. spirituality and yoga and all these practices is for everybody. It's not just for someone who is called for a spiritual awakening. We're all spirits. There is no more spiritual or less spiritual. You know, I absolutely disagree here, with all the respect, with all the hierarchy that they're trying to build on. Some souls are more awakened than other souls, and some is new souls, some is old souls, some it's all this kind of separation, right?
Yeah.
We are all souls, we are all very worthy, we are all in different levels in our personal development, meaning that not separated from each other, but personally. And our little spirituality comes from how we treat other people and ourselves. And that's it. It's for absolutely everybody. And that's what we try to teach in Space for Awareness. That's our motto.
Yeah, it's so beautiful how we came here to this point, to the realization that everything that promotes separation is eventually not spiritual.
Yes, this is very important to understand.
Yeah, because the more you are on the path of spiritual awakening, the more you start to realize that we're all coming from the same source.
Yes.
And that we're all in this together. And the more you show up with love and compassion to the world around you and every being that is on your path, the more you will start to vibrate high energy, and the more it will reflect in your outside world. And maybe this is a beautiful shift to, again, come back a little bit to this business world, because a lot of people that might be watching here, they might believe that if you become spiritual, it means you become less successful. Or like we have to give up on our job because now we have to start meditating and practice yoga. What do you think is important for people to know, like how doing meditations, yoga, breath awareness can actually help you to succeed in your work?
Okay, so a question here back. Does having a relationship and family will destroy your business?
No.
No, right? That is the same. Does having a relationship with your spiritual self and yourself will destroy your family or your business? No.
No.
It is a separate thing that you are developing. Spirituality, again, is not about sitting under a tree with specific clothes and crystals. It is about listening to your body and being more aware in your daily life, how you treat yourself and others, looking after your nervous system, looking after your thoughts, because from there you project everything in the outside reality. So if you look after your nervous system and your mind, it will improve your business. There's no question. You'll make better decisions for yourself. You will have better ideas. You will have more confidence to achieve things. You will burn out less. So that means you will have more focus, more stamina. So spirituality will just help with business. And there's so many of high achievers and people who are very high up in business society. They all talk about how they have these practices, meditations, yoga, or something that helps them to balance. So I think it's very important to understand that to go into this path, we don't need to give up on absolutely anything. We can just live our life and the life will improve in time. Meditation can only improve your life. It cannot destroy it. It cannot take anything away. And as we mentioned, that it can be 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
People say, I don't have time. Seriously? What do you think about this, not having time idea?
Yeah. I believe that if you would replace 10 minutes of scrolling on your phone by incorporating a meditation practice in your day, you'll be very grateful to the person that made you get to that point of replacing the scroll. Because, I would love to hear from people actually that have done this recently and to learn about the effects had on their life, because I am 99.90% sure that they will all say, it actually helped me to improve my life in so many different aspects.
Yes.
Also at work.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And there is a scientific research behind it. A lot of it, actually. One thing that I can remember right now is Harvard did a study where they gave a very short mindfulness meditation practices, for the participants. And in 8 weeks, they showed improvement in brain function. And with the breaks and burning out, I think in Illinois, they did a study in the University of Illinois where they compared two groups. One group was working all the time without breaks, scrolling and all these normal things that we do. And the other group took 10 minutes breaks every hour. Guess who performed better? Guess who had more focus? Surprise, surprise. So meditation and taking time for yourself, it's not just something that we are covering and we think. It's proven by research over and over and over again.
Yeah, I love how Joe Dispenza, for example, made it so visible in his book, where he's showing the actual brain waves of people that are meditating regularly.
Yes.
And if you see how the brain waves are going a little slower when people start meditating, and how it creates this brain-heart coherence, where your heart is starting to also move in the same wavelength as the brain. And for that reason, we're making decisions based on love, or based on what our heart truly desires, and finding this point of coherence between the two. Because it's not only in our brain. We start to operate from the heart more. And when we make decisions from our heart, you can see that everything is becoming more in tune with your true desires.
Absolutely.
With the love that you are.
Absolutely. When our brain is in high beta brain wave state, it's very incoherent. And also, for me, Joe Dispenza, by the way, was someone that's influenced my life in so many great ways. But that's so true. When our brain is extremely aroused, we can't make good decisions. We can't have good ideas, because all the great ideas and aha moments come from the intuition.
Yeah.
And for that door to open, our mind needs to slow down. If the door is closed because of blah, 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 always in your mind, you cannot allow that information to come through from the field. It's not possible. But when you slow down, when you give that space, it might not come at the same moment you're doing meditation. But in time, you will become more mindful person. You will do better decisions. You will listen to the heart more.
And I think that this is a beautiful moment to bring up one thing that is really important in this moment, which is the new generation.
Yes.
Even our current generation that is feeling the shift to having a very short attention span caused by social media usage. Let's talk a little bit about the risk of our increased social media usage, or usage of devices, and how it is interrupting our natural state of working with this brain-heart coherence, feeling more resonant with love, energy, less with the mind association. What is changing?
Well, it's interesting. Actually, we spoke about this before, that there's a term now, a slang, that is called TikTok brain. And TikTok brain means that from the scrolling and this content that is short and these little dopamine boosts, we are having people who are having less attention span. They cannot focus anymore. They cannot feel happy from daily activities anymore. They need this. Your brain is basically changing the structure just from doing this all day long, right? So when we talk about young generation, Parents are giving their children phones at the age of 4 or 5. They are already creating that pattern. With the older generation, we don't have that from our childhood. So we are reshaping our brains, but it is still something that we are doing on the ground already, yeah? But young generation, they're living in this. So from early age, their brain is not developing properly to solve problems, to make decisions. And it will be harder for that generation to live their lives, to have more compassion, to make better decisions. It will create a lot of attention deficit disorder and a lot of egoistic decisions. Not only that, oh, the society is bad and wrong. It's based on how we treat ourselves. We are not meant to fry our brains all day long. It's nobody in human history has done that ever. Only in the last 20 years we are doing this. So let's see the consequences.
I believe we still had the right examples. I grew up going outside, playing in the fields, playing with my friends from school. And now the examples are almost showing the children that we should be looking at our phones all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like our generation is becoming a parent and we are looking at our phone all the time. So what will our children believe that they should be doing with their free time? They will take that example. So I believe it's our responsibility now to stop that pattern, stop giving the wrong examples, and start showing up in the right way to ourselves and to the next generation. And I think that also can start in a very simple way, because if we start to show that using our phone a bit less or maybe in specific moments in our day and showing how a mindfulness practice will help us becoming better versions of ourselves, becoming more successful in their life, that is what the new generation can still pick up.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most important thing for people to know about this topic if they have young children or maybe are often surrounded by people of the new generation? What can they do?
Well, I think the first thing is to know the risks. I think that understanding is important. So I strongly would advise for anyone watching, read research on what endless scrolling is doing to your brain and your child's brain. This is the first step, to understand. Because when we didn't understand the damage of smoking, everyone was smoking. But when the research came out and it showed how much damage it is, people think, it will be a problem. So the same thing is now happening with the phones. It's a new thing, we are doing it, but the research is coming out showing that you should slow down. And I think that in 20 more years, we will have the same prevention methods and a lot of debates on this, the same like smoking or alcohol or drugs. There were times where drugs were legal until they realized the problem. So this is a drug. It's the same thing. I think that understanding and then showing good example. Kids can begin meditation in quite early age. I think we discussed this as well at some point, from around 7 to 8, when prefrontal cortex already develops enough, it is okay to give 5 to 10 minutes meditations. And we had this conversation before, playful, fun techniques, what to do with your body to relax. You shared something about the toy. Maybe you can talk about that, about the breath work.
Yeah, so when children are starting practices like this, it can be very helpful to give them a little pet and start to breathe with the pet, for example, like a little cuddle, to hold it against the belly and see how your little pet is moving up and down when you breathe in and out.
Yeah.
So that is just a way to pivot the mind from telling it, now start to pay attention to your breath. A child with a short attention span will most likely not like it. But if you tell the child that with every inhale, the pet moves a little bit closer to you, so you can give it a big hug.
Yeah.
And when you exhale, the belly expands and it moves a little bit further from you, so you can see it better.
Yeah.
And just playing a little bit with these little exercises.
Yeah.
Or seeing how the belly becomes like a balloon when you inhale and exhale. Little tricks. And with yoga, they do the same thing. If you teach a child yoga, you focus more on the animals, like a frog pose, like make the child understand that a frog moves in a specific way and make it play with it. So these are little practices. I think what we can do for our podcast is maybe to invite someone that has studied this behavior in children and to share with our audience some techniques that they can use if they have children to incorporate a mindfulness practice in their children's day as well.
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah. And we will give an opportunity to you guys to decide what you want to see on our next podcast. We would like to invite people who are in science, also just householders, how they're dealing with their lives, also famous people. We will have so many people from different walks of life to give a full spectrum of what mindfulness truly is.
Yeah, mindfulness, meditation, body practices, somatic practices, for example. That will be so beautiful. And now that we're bringing up the topic of letting the audience share with us what they would like to hear, you asked a question on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
What people would like to ask you.
Yes.
Are there some questions that we didn't touch upon yet that your audience asked you to touch upon today?
Well, I have some of them here on my phone. And we covered a lot of it. A statement, I can't meditate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a statement, I can't meditate.
I can't meditate.
Okay, I can't play a piano. I can't. But if I take a piano, and I take piano lessons, I will learn how to play a piano. Some people are better playing piano. Some people are not that good. Maybe I'm not that good, but if I practice, I will learn. That is what people need to understand about meditation. We are naturally meditative people. We can be active and we can be still. We forget how to be still. For some people, it is easier to remember. For some people, a bit harder. Me, as an experienced meditation teacher, I have many methods that can help different people to reach stillness. Everyone is very different. What works for one might not work for the other. But meditation is something that we can all learn. There is not one person in this planet who cannot learn meditation skill.
And there's so many different meditation techniques, right? Like on my journey of meditation, I started with guided meditations where I just had to lay down and listen to someone's voice guiding me in a meditation, and starting with 10 minutes and just building that up eventually to longer meditations such as an hour. It's beautiful when we understand that there's not one way of meditating.
Yes.
There are so many different techniques of meditation, and there's one that can work for you much better than another one. And there's also a course that you're creating right now on this topic. Do you want to share a little bit about the course you're creating?
Yes, of course. Course Healing Through Meditation. And this is something that I was developing for quite a long time, and it was based on my experience working with so many people. I see so much misunderstanding about meditation, that it has to be one way, that people need to meditate only for one reason, for one problem. Let's say they just don't understand that meditation is basically a practice to create stillness in the mind, which is to allow you to be more aware and think more clearly. Also rewire the mind, rewire the brain. It is like a gym for your brain and for your nervous system, right? And it can solve so many problems of yours. But different teachers, they are talking about one or two methods and don't give a variety of a choice. And many people don't explain people how to begin the practice, how to meditate, that you don't need to sit in this easy pose, cross-legged, how to relax yourself or how not to fall asleep. People are different. So for that reason, I created the course. I will share there 11 different techniques: healing your inner child, self-love, also manifestation, changing your habits. There will be a lot of different techniques which will help to improve different areas of students' lives. And breathwork techniques, how to prepare yourself, and in general, how to practice when you're out of balance, and some other methods. And it will have video lessons and guided practices, and all of it is done without AI. This is most important, that even the student support that will be provided, everything is without the AI. So it's a purely human-based course from the heart coming.
I had those words in my mouth. It's coming from the heart.
Yeah.
And then you were saying it. That's beautiful. We were connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen a few of your videos, and I just want to highlight how beautiful it is that you guide people in this very personal way, also in a very practical way, in a way that it is accessible to everyone. Because one module, there's like always a practical video where you walk someone through the practice in 10 minutes, or sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less. And then you have this practical guidebook as well for if people want to read more about it and go a bit more deeper. So I think it will definitely help a lot of people that need this in this moment of, as you said, AI that is upcoming and creates a big shift in people, their minds. I think it also creates a lot of anxiety in modern society. What if I lose my job? I need to perform better and faster because my colleague just created this big document or big AI tool just in a few days, so I have to produce more as well. We become even more anxious because we have to produce more and more and more, which is a big impact that AI has in this moment. We can also touch a little bit on this topic, on how AI is changing our society and how it is making us more stressed and anxious about losing our jobs. Do you want to say something about these topics?
AI. There is so many ways that AI can go. I will not even start here.
Yeah.
So I will talk at this point, because future will show itself. We can predict, but we never know. It can go very bad or it can stabilize. But at this point, AI can be a good tool in some ways for us, but we should not use it daily. It's just a tool. Again, the same thing is happening. A phone was there to call your family, call your friends, and connect. Now it's part of your life. Most of people would not survive without their phone. Same is happening with AI. We should have balance and find this middle ground, using AI and having human connection. It will affect our relationships. It will affect families. It will affect the way that we are able to talk with each other, to share energy, to read the body signs, because we will talk with the computer if we don't stop this going all the way in. Again, AI is a tool. How people use a tool, that is the problem. A phone is a tool.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with AI itself, or with the phone, or with any technology. If we manage to find a way to control it in our lives, and also in our jobs, in the political structure, everywhere, it's good to have this technology, but it goes too far. People just don't look for balance, and this is a big problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have to understand that we can't be controlled by it
Yes.
if we want to be successful, because as soon as we start to be controlled by a tool, we're giving away all of our creative power.
Yes.
And this creative power, it is so important for our own life, because it is what drives us, it's what makes us human, it's what makes us connect to each other. And this is where I see this big shift. We are losing our creativity.
Yes.
Because we are all copying the same ideas, the same texts from the AI tools.
Yes.
And this is what people, I think, will need to understand. The more you connect to yourself, to your heart, to your pillar, the more you will be creative from within.
Absolutely. Very good point.
And the less we need those external tools to become successful. Like, creativity is what eventually makes us successful, because we can distinguish ourselves from the average.
Absolutely. Such a beautiful point. At this point, we are mostly copying everything from AI. It is good to create your own idea and to allow AI to polish it a little bit. Polishing and developing it in AI, it's two different things, absolutely different. If you manage to use your own mind, AI can help you with your business, with your ideas, with everything, to give maybe some extra boost. But most people, as you say, I don't know what to do with my life. Let's ask AI. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You're giving away your power. This life is not yours anymore. It's computer's life then.
Yeah.
You need to create your own ideas, find your own place. And this actually, right now, if a person is mindful enough and understands what we're saying here, this is now a very good ground to create something unique, because no one is doing that. Before AI, people were using their own brains. What should I do?
Yeah.
I have this business idea. From 100% of people, right now, this is what 20% are doing. So you have a lot more space to create something, because nothing works well as a copy, as AI tool.
Yeah.
Everything works if there's your idea and a little bit AI, just a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm so excited that with Space for Awareness, we can help people to understand this and to start working with the tools that you have inside of yourself.
Yes.
To become this creative, successful person that you are. And not only like creative and successful, but also loving, calm, aware, compassionate. There's so many beautiful qualities that we have inside of ourselves that AI cannot teach us.
Yes.
And we need to use those tools.
Yes.
So that we can use tools like AI to become efficient or to scale something even bigger. But they are not the tools that decide for us who we should become, or how we should talk to other people, how we should tell our friends that we are feeling a certain emotion. Because that's something I see too. People bringing their deepest struggles in a message that was written by AI. We have to be careful here.
Yeah.
We have to be aware. And with Space for Awareness,
Yes.
we can bring those tools to people. I'm so excited about that.
Me too.
Yeah.
So here is something that I would like to begin to share. And Tika, you can continue. This is the project of Space for Awareness. We will create a community that is built not on technology, and that is built on real human emotion. It will include a lot of things: networking, retreats, online communities, platforms. And that is our vision, to help people to use their powers within, to communicate, to build something even together, but to discover that they are so powerful and they can use outside tools. It's not something that we are demonizing AI or technology, but it has to be a tool. They are the master.
Yeah.
That is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the key is human connection.
Yes.
When you connect to the people around you on a deeper level. What you can create together, it's so powerful and beautiful.
Yes.
It is not only powerful in a way that you can earn a lot of money from it. Of course you can earn a lot of money from it, but you can create even more love and joy and purpose and fulfillment from that. So I think it is a beautiful moment in time to work towards more human connection and to grow together, co-create with those people in the community, people who are visiting our retreats, to create those spaces for people to connect again on that deep level.
I'm very excited for this.
Same.
And it was a great talk.
Oh, it's so beautiful
It
always
was really
to talk with
beautiful.
you. Yeah.
Yes, so guys, if you liked our podcast, please subscribe to our channel. We are new and we really need your support. And we will be very interactive. You can offer guests which you want to see, also ask questions. We are always there to answer. And
Yeah, people can find us on Instagram, of course, Space for Awareness. And if you're interested in visiting us in Bali, we will be doing beautiful networking events here and organize our retreats in Bali. So we cannot wait to open our space to you. And we hope to connect with you deeply.
yes. Thank you very much for watching, and we see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.